Hi, welcome to Psalm 146, and we are into the final mini collection, 5 Psalms coming right at the end of the Book of Psalms. Book 5, yes, but this is a collection of 5 to finish it off. It kind of ties a bow on the entire collection of Psalms. We've traveled a long way, but here are some kind of bottom line issues for us as we come to the end. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord, O my soul. I will praise the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praises to my God while I have my being. The establishing of the concept here is not hard to spot, is it? Singing praises to God. In contrast to verses 3 and 4. Put not your trust in princes, in a son of man in whom there is no salvation. When his breath departs, he returns to the earth. On that very day, his plans perish. So God should be praised, not princes, in terms of who we should trust. So princes, impressive people that, are powerful or strong or seem to be able to fix something. Actually, ultimately, there's no salvation in humans. Our only hope is God. So blessed is he whose help is the God of Jacob, whose hope is in the Lord his God, who made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them. There's the contrast. There's the principle established. Now in the second half, the psalm writer is going to flag up one specific point about God and then give us some examples of that in action. God keeps faith forever. There's the key thought. He's faithful forever. He can be trusted. He's not like a prince who dies and loses his breath and has nothing left to give. No, God keeps faith forever. And then we get some examples of this. He provides justice for the oppressed and the hungry, those who are suffering in this world. God helps them, providing the justice and food that they need. Then we get a 3-line example. The Lord sets the prisoners free. The Lord opens the eyes of the blind. The Lord lifts up those who are bowed down, those who are suffering physically, if you like. So imprisoned, blinded, bowed down. These are people who are having a tough time. The Lord cares for them. So the oppressed and the needy, the hungry, then those who are suffering physically. And then the final example here is 4 lines. Notice how each example is a line longer. It's almost like it's sort of building, making its case that God is faithful. And then in this final 4-line block, we have God's championing of righteousness. The Lord loves the righteous. He watches over the sojourners. He upholds the widow and the fatherless. These are 3 groups of people who typically will suffer injustice, people who will not receive righteous treatment on earth, but the Lord watches over them. He cares for them. That's an amazing set of examples, isn't it? The oppressed, the hungry, those physically struggling, those who are suffering because they're weak, vulnerable, minority, however you want to look at it. But the way of the wicked he brings to ruin. God is faithful. That's the big story, if you like, through this part of the psalm. God is faithful, and this is the God, therefore, that we should praise. Don't put your trust in people, in princes, because they will fail. They will fall short. They will die. There's no salvation in man, but in God. What a gracious, kind, good God we have. And so the final verse to wrap up the psalm: the Lord will reign forever, your God, O Zion, to all generations. And again, as we saw at the top, praise the Lord. So there's Psalm 146. Please join me for the rest of the book of Psalms. I suspect we're going to see praise the Lord quite a bit. We're coming to kind of a crescendo, final climax to the collection, and I'll see you next time. In the meantime, read Psalm 146, share your highlights below, and share it with someone else too. Encourage someone that needs to be reminded about God's goodness to them.